Hey, what's up? My name is Jesse Dow, and I'm a top 100 influencer agent here at eXp Realty. I am a six-time icon agent that has closed over 832 transactions on the eXp Realty platform. Now, I've earned over $1.1 million in revenue share, along with an incremental $200,000 in stock through the Culture program. Now, this channel is dedicated to real numbers, real data, and all of the behind the scenes and updated information here at eXp Realty. So if you're an elite agent that's looking for real strategies and real growth, consider subscribing to the channel. And in this video, I am going to talk to you exactly about what it's like when you get to the top. What do I mean by the top? Now, if you're an agent out there, your goal has probably been to I want to be the top solo agent, then I'm going to build a team, then I'm going to open my own brokerage, and life's going to be good. I'm here to tell you that is the most painful journey on planet Earth. And I literally just got off the call with a brokerage owner. Now, I've recruited, quote unquote recruited, I should say I have attracted over 1,000 agents to eXp Realty. And in that bunch, I would say probably probably 15 to 20 of them are brokerage owners. And I'm talking big brokerage owners and some little brokerage owners, but I will tell you there is a common thread in all of them. And I've also talked to multiple brokerages that never even came to eXp, and that was a whole nother conversation. I can talk to you about why they didn't come, and I'll talk about why they came, but I will tell you there is two commonalities that I hear from all of these top agents, top team leads, top brokerage owners. And the one thing that I know is when you're in that position of say 2 to 12 agents, it's the messy middle. And quite honestly, the way it works is a lot of agents start building a team, and then they're not making any more money. And they're just they're accruing all of these headaches, all of this work, and they're getting frustrated. Now, my biggest problem that I had when I was in that expansion mode was that I was stuck in this world of my franchise, and that was my world. So it was the same franchise in two different states. So I was paying double caps, even though it was the same owner, the same company. I was paying double caps. And I didn't even think about being at one company that relinquished that, because that's the mindset I was in. That was the world I was in. I was in the franchise mode. Keller Williams, Next Home, same exact models, different names. And that's what I realized when I was interviewing all these brokerages, was that they were all the exact same thing, until I realized that there are companies out there like eXp Realty that's one company, one cap, whether you're licensed in 50 states or one, it's all the same. One set of fees, no matter how many states you're in. And still, I literally just talked to another team last week who couldn't wrap their mind around the fact that they had 3 state licenses, and they're like, "You're telling me I only have to pay one cap and one set of fees, like one E&O, because our E&O, it's $750 a year, and they take, I think it's $60 out per transaction, and then it caps at $750, and that's it." And they're like, "So I don't have to pay $750 per state?" I'm like, "No, it's one license, one agent's set for as many licenses, and you only have to pay one E&O fee for the entire year. So it's $750 whether you have 1 or 50 licenses." And so when I was stuck in this mindset of, this is my world. And it wasn't until I came to eXp and those barriers were removed, then it gave me room to breathe. And quite honestly, when I just got off of this call with this brokerage owner, I had a brokerage owner that owned their own brokerage with 45 agents on the call with me. And he said that when he made the move, he goes, "I finally had time to sit back and breathe." And that is exactly what I hear from every single big team and brokerage owner, is they're like, "I finally have time to do what I need to do to move the ball down the field." Because what the 45 agent brokerage was doing is he was spending $150 a year on his operations manager that was chasing checks, dealing with compliance issues. And the broker that we were speaking with that was looking at coming to eXp, he said that the reason that he started his own brokerage was because he was previously with another brokerage that he had a lawsuit issue, two of them, and their broker told him to hire his own attorney. That is crazy to me. The one thing I will say about EXP is that if you're if you're dealing with legal issues, EXP's compliance team, we have on-staff attorneys. I think we have 60 on-staff attorneys, and they deal with the issues yourself. We're not out there contracting all these lawyers that are going to get to us in 3 to 6 weeks. No, it happens immediately. I've had issues with some of my agents, and the EXP just says, hey, fill out this form, and then they take it off your plate. So when you're owning a brokerage, you take all of that liability on, and you literally become, if you're not a good operator and you don't know how to put all the players into position, and you're not following a tried and true system, which there's a lot of them out there, and I'm not disregarding all of them, it's just look around in the ecosystem and understand that why are all the best and most profitable and biggest brokerages and teams all migrating to EXP? It's because it has a proven model that accelerates your business. Let's remove the revenue share talk. Let's remove the stock talk. Let's only talk about production. EXP is where the pros go to grow, and that's facts. So it's about giving the agents a platform that you can now go from here to here. And the fastest way by doing that is attaching your wagon to another team's pulling team to help get you down the field faster. So we are aligned with some of the most elite teams. So if you're over a 15 million a year producer, we have a special program that we plug our $15 million a year and bigger producers into that is lights out, that has taken teams from 15 to 200 to 800 to over $1 billion in production like that. Now, some agents don't like that. They just want to be a $15 million a year producer. And if that's you, that's perfectly fine. I'm just telling you that the opportunities are out there. Now, giving the agent and the broker owner room to breathe is really important because it lets you stay in your frame of genius. And I'm telling you right now, it's so hard for me to explain this because I talk to so many agents and they were like, every single one of them says the same thing. Once they come into EXP, they're like, I had no clue what I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. And it wasn't until I made the move that I saw it. And it's because everyone thinks they're making a lateral change to EXP. That's not the case. It's like, let's just say you're on a conveyor belt and it's moving like this fast. And then all of a sudden there's a conveyor belt over here and it's moving this fast. It's like, you don't know what it's like until you get on the conveyor belt at which rate it's moving. And that's how it is here at EXP. And that's why you see everyone have such explosive growth. And it's hard to explain because the culture here is insane. It's so good. And it's a meritocracy, so it's very for producing agents. The number one thing that I hear though, on top of like room to breathe, is what happens when you start building this empire is you become very lonely. I remember Chuck Fazio, $1 billion a year producer, $2 billion in production annually. He goes, we had a great brokerage, 900 agents, but we didn't have anyone we could talk to because we were it. And when they went to go sell their brokerage, they had offers from lots of people, but it all came with strings attached. They moved to EXP, and you're thinking, well, 900 agents, that's a lot of agents. Well, how many agents actually came over with them? It was like 300. Because Chuck had made the move earlier, and then his wife had stayed at the brokerage before or when he left for a couple years. So there's all these wild rumors and speculations going on, and it just lingered on too long. And when they made the move to EXP, he gave himself 12 months to get back to where he was just from revenue share alone. And he said it took him less than 12 months to make more profit from the revenue share than he did from his brokerage with having zero headaches. So I don't want you to think if you're a broker owner, you're now focusing on generating revenue share. That's not the name of the game. If you're a brokerage owner or a team lead or you're aspiring to be that, just know that that is a layer that you can add into your business, but is not the replacement. That is not the replacement. That is one of the biggest mistakes I see agents making is when they come to this model, they're like, oh, I'm going to now just lay back and sit in this model and I'm going to now shut my team down and I'm going to make all this money from revenue share. No. If you have a team of 30, which I had an agent do this, she came into the EXP, she had a team of 30 agents, and she goes, I'm just now going to collect my revenue share and I'm done. She literally shut the team down. And it was like the biggest mistake because she went from making like netting $1 million a year to netting like on 30 agents in revenue share on the quarter cap that they were on, they were only making like 35 grand a year in revenue share, and she didn't do it the right way. So I just don't want you to think that that's the replacement. Can revenue share pay out in the long run? Big numbers? Absolutely. If you put some focus into it, yes, it can. But when you come to EXP now, what you have is you have all of these, team owners, or say brokerage owners, or what do they call it? A team ridge, the biggest team at the brokerage, and they're all here together. And none of them have to pay each other anything, because we're all just paying into our $16,000 cap, and that's it. However, EXP is paying us back in the form of revenue share, so we're all trying to help each other, and there's no limit to that. And that's why you see, and that's really the magic right there. It's like, I'll pick up the phone for anyone and have a conversation. However, when I have somebody that I'm financially helping and I'm being rewarded from, I'm going to then try my hardest to give them everything that they want to then take their business to the next level. And I play I try to create the most powerful relationships in the industry. I literally just got off the phone with the brokerage owner, and he was like saying, I'd been talking to him for the past year, and I said, look, I don't know if anyone's ever talked to you about EXP before. I would be a fool to assume that. However, I know a lot of people talk to me about it, and I felt like they were vomiting EXP on me. They never came to me with a solution of how I can grow my business until it happened. I said, so I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the opportunity today is insane. And I would love to show you how I could help you do what you're looking to do, but a lot faster and more effectively if you're open to it. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So I knew that he knew one of my agents. So I got him on the call, my agent. And I knew in this agent that I was talking to, the brokerage owner, I knew there was another former brokerage owner in that marketplace that I could make a great connection with. So I brought all of us together on one call. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And even the agent we were quote unquote recruiting, he was just like, I am so confused of how all of you on this call are benefiting from me coming over. And I'm like, that is the power of this model. You don't really understand it until you get inside of it. Or if you want to sit down, I can sit down with you for 2 hours and talk about numbers like a nerd. And that to me is fun, so let's do it. Once the aha moment goes off in your brain, and you can just put aside all of the ego stuff, because if you do move to EXP, all you have to do is add group or brokered by EXP at the end of your name. You can keep all the branding, emails, everything the same, website the same. You just got to put that 3 little letters on your sign, EXP. That's it. It's so simple. And it's like, when we look a year down the road, and I do this with every single one of them, I am like, how has your life been changed? And they're just like, there's no words that can explain it. There's this massive weight lifted off, and now I feel like I'm collaborating and my business is 10xing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people that come in and do not see the same success. And I've had brokerages that have like 6, 7 agents come in. They're heavily involved in their compliance, and they want to micromanage the EXP corporation. And it's like, look, the machine is built. Get into your genius and do the things that you're great at. If you're going to sit there and try to micromanage a big corporation that's already got all the systems and processes ironed out, and you've been doing it the same way for 50 years, but because EXP does it differently, you're now going to have this like butting head situation. That's not going to work. This is, in my opinion, the greatest opportunity in the history of our entire real estate world. And I hear this every single day, and I see it in real time happening. It is the most incredible thing. And of course, I get paid in revenue share. I get paid in my real estate sales. But unless we're all successful, it doesn't pay anything. And that's like the linchpin of the whole thing. So production is always number one. Well, I should say clients are always number one. Production is number 2. But without the two, it doesn't go hand in hand. I mean, without clients, you can't have production. And yes, you can have clients. So yes, you don't need the production piece, but we all need to make money, right? If you are someone that is like, I'm stuck on this hamster wheel and I can't figure it out. Book a call with me right here on my Calendly link and we will figure it out together. And if it isn't with me, I will gladly introduce you to someone that will help you more than I could. Because with the power of co-sponsorship, I have now co-sponsored every single agent I've brought on since co-sponsorship existed. It doesn't benefit me anymore. However, it benefits the agent 10 times greater by having the power of collaboration even stronger. This is the craziest thing. Like, I've been telling agents for the last 5 years, EXP is the play. Is there a lot of lookalikes out there? Absolutely. But the proven model consistently rinse and repeat success over and over and over again. If all these other models were just as good or better, why is their average sales per agent less than 50% EXP's average production and we have the most agents? It's not even close. It's not even close. And I remember the startup days. I remember what it was like just trying to get a broker on a call or just getting the wheels in motion to starting a company like this. And trust me, so we have tons of boomerang agents. They just announced in the quarterly earnings call last week that some of these brokerages out there try to say, oh yeah, EXP's lost all these agents. Look, we have all these lookalikes popping up, so you're gonna naturally get attrition by people trying to quote unquote get in early. 57% of the agents that left EXP in 2024 left the industry. I'm gonna pop up a picture right here, and this shows how the retention is stacked up at EXP. EXP is extremely sticky when it comes to agents. What are the percentage breakdowns of agents leaving EXP? So agents that have done 0 to 2 sales, we have a 75% chance that agent's gonna leave. 3 to 7%, 14.6% chance of the agents leaving. 9 to 12 sales, 4.8%. 13 to 20, we got a 3.3% chance of them leaving. And 21 and above sales, we have over a 97.9% retention. 97.9% retention. Only 2.1% of agents that do over 21 deals a year or more leave EXP Realty. That has to be the biggest eye-opening stat that you could ever imagine, because I am in the top 100 influencer list for attractors at EXP, and I go to the top 250 team lead event with top 50 solo and then top attractors. We do it every quarter. What I would tell you is on the top attractors, the top teams, it's only like 6 agents that migrate into both categories. So you're a unique bird if you're floating in between both. So, and that's me, I float into both of those categories. But only like 6 people do. So that tells me that these people in the top 21 and above sales category aren't making a ton of money in revenue share. So it has to be the model of EXP that's keeping them here, or the platform. So I always say success leaves clues, but let numbers speak and let people lie. It's my favorite saying of all times. Numbers don't lie, people do. Agents will go out there and tell you, oh, this brokerage is the best. Oh, that brokerage is the best. Blah, 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 blah. We have the best technology. We have the best training. We have the best people. We have the best corporation. It's like, dude, is your tech shinier? Is it more effective? I mean, people can make really good things look really good, but they don't do anything. It's the people at the end of the day that create the result. It isn't the tools. The work, we all know in our markets, we see these agents that do killer volume and they're super old school. They have they're probably using an email if they're lucky and pop buys. Success leaves clues. I'm trying to show you here that EXP has the platform to solve your pain points. And if you're trying to build it on your own right now, trust me, let me ask you this. Do you think you would be more proud to build a brokerage on a platform that's actually scalable across the world, that you could then hand your system off to one of your family members, or not even producing family members? You could hand them your revenue share because it's willable, and you earn more net profit year over year? Because when you go to sell your brokerage, there's going to be 9,000 strings attached, and at the end of the day, you're probably For my buddy that had a 900 agent brokerage at $2 billion, it was a 7-figure payout, but they had to retain X amount of agents and they had to stay on for X amount of years. He's like, I made more at EXP in revenue share, not selling any real estate, than I ever would have made in that specific model. This is why, until you sit down and go through the numbers, which we do, we'll paint the picture, we'll show you side by side, and if it doesn't make sense, it's off the table. But it doesn't happen until you actually pull the trigger, book the call right here. Let's set up a brokerage exploration call. We'll see what the projection looks like over the course of the years. I'm telling you, the ones that don't do it always tell me the reason they don't is because they're trying to get in early. However, those agents always end up in the exact same position. In a year down the road, they're gonna be in the same position they were. It's because they're always trying to chase an opportunity too late. If they were to just focus on doing what they need to do right now, it would be game over. Misery loves company. And those models attract the exact same people. So when an agent tells me like, oh, this model isn't for me, I'm like, thank you. You just saved me a ton of time, a ton of energy, and a ton of hardship. Because I don't want to work with agents that don't believe in the vision, that don't want to get on the platform and let's go. I see these agents moving to these brokerages and it's all to save a couple bucks. You will never be successful saving your way to wealth. That is just the facts. If saving your way to wealth works, then why not just be a renter for the rest of your life? Because it's cheaper to rent in most cases than it is to buy a home. But as old Dave Ramsey says, I've never met a 70 or 80-year-old that has their house paid off that isn't happier than someone that's renting or at 70 or 80. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but the number one line item for senior citizens is their housing costs. And if you always see those like cost of rent versus buy, it's never calculated out past the time the house is paid off. And we can get into that conversation a whole nother time, but I just want to throw this out there for anyone that's even considering owning a brokerage, starting a team. If you own a team, you want to go in a brokerage, I'm telling you, the path is so much easier this way, and you should at least give it to yourself to explore it. So if you want to have that conversation, book a call on my Calendly right here, or go down in the description. You can text me, call me, email me, book on my Calendly. And until next time, we'll catch you later.